What's up, guys? It's your boy Jamaica here. Coming at you with another deck tech of blue white control. Um, Decided to bust this out again for the tournament. Been working on it a lot actually. I've actually had a lot of fun just kind of like durdling about playing this deck. So, I want to take a first spin. Made a lot of different changes from the last time I played deck tech, so I figured it'd be another. Uh, Here, just do another little mini deck tech before the tournament starts. Lands are always really important. Still 26 lands. I'm playing actually an extra planes over the Urza's Factory. I thought that like the second one was like really bad. The first, all I need really one. I'm playing his new land, Prava Spires of Order. It's kind of expensive, like everything else in the deck, but it's really good. It's actually really good at like kind of like bridging the late to super late game. And sometimes you kind of just like deplete all your opponent's threats until like one threat at a time, and it just starts kind of like stops that for the most part. That's not like obviously it's damage source, but I really like the land. I thought it's been really good. Just gonna quickly go over most things are the same. I cut an oust. These are really bad top decks, but in general they're pretty good against most of the field right now. The field is still full of aggro decks. I have a Honden package here, Honden of Cleansing Fire and Honden of Seeing Winds. Cleansing Fire obviously for the aggro decks, but Seeing Winds I wanted just something that just kind of like continually drew cards. I was really leaning heavily on Stroke Genius, so I wanted just something extra, sort of like a just repeatable effect, and I came to the conclusion that Hondens were going to be pretty good, and I haven't really had a really good time with them. The Cleansing Fire, even on its own, is fine, but when you combine the two, it's just pretty nuts. So I got the Pulse main deck. I actually have one on the board as well. It's a counter spell basically versus red deck for the most part. Kind of keep casting it, but it's kind of hard sometimes to keep casting it every turn where you're kind of just trying to do other things. I had an extra scatter because actually sort of a kill condition on its own. I really don't like dissolve. I mean, I like it, but I think this is just better overall in the late game. Still going the Parallax Wave Planar Outburst package. That's probably the best removal spells, like Wrath effects that White has. Um, and these are all the kill conditions right here. Decree of Justice, Stroke of Genius. I've definitely made people draw their whole deck with Stroke of Genius. And Sand Delirium, a new kind of kill condition. I kind of like jokingly call this deck Blue White Fireballs because I'll just kind of get a bunch of mana and then just start casting all these crazy X spells, whether it be Decree, Stroke, or Sand Delirium, which kind of comes down early, kind of sits around and kind of just uses all your free mana when you don't need it. So, like, if you're just holding a counter spell, they don't do anything. Oh, you just sands it for 3 or 4 or whatever. And it adds up. It adds up really quick, especially in the late game when you have about 10 plus lands. You kind of just, like, nuke people's graveyards a couple at a time. And combined with Stroke, it makes stroking people out really easy. And the Elixir, of course, another kill condition, sort of just to kind of make sure you don't really run out of cards, which I definitely have, especially with Honden. The Honden, you kind of have to be careful because it's not a may, it's a must. So eventually you do have to win the game. So it does speed up the game a bit. A lot of this deck is sort of about managing your time wisely. I've seen a lot of people just kind of not manage their time wisely. And it's a really hard deck to play, especially with so few kill conditions. But you do have to get Creative Stroke and like Decree, stuff like that. Sideboard's a lot different. I found out that not a lot of control decks really need to. There's not a lot of control decks, so I cut most of the like anti-control stuff. I still have the overall analysis is really good. And Imperial Mass is also pretty good against other control decks, sort of. They can't really like if people are playing versions like mine, they'll probably like stroke you out or something like that. But the Ferris one's actually not bad either. I moved it to the sideboard. You can against the other blue white decks, you can just name white, and then they can't decree you basically. But most of the sideboard is mostly geared towards aggro, extra pulse, a couple of repeals. Repeals kind of weird. In this slot, I had like Immolating Glare. I just wanted something to deal with creatures, but just also versatile. So I mean, heroic. Everything in heroic is basically a 1-drop. Most of the more threatening things in red deck are 1 and 2 drops. So repeals not bad there. I'm only really afraid of like Hell Riders for the most part. So hopefully just dodge those. I mean, I thought about playing like Celestial Purge, but I want on just something very universal. So I'm trying out Repeal today. Seal of Cleansing and Allay. Those have a lot of problems, just like enchantments in general. And I really didn't have any enchantment and artifact removal, so I added 2 seals. And the Allay is just a buyback spell. I perceive like the control matches how they should win by enchantments. for the most part. I can deal with any creature ever, so enchantment's one thing I'm worried about. So Allays that kind of like repeatable spell. And Sentinel Totems is my like anti-graveyard package. I just wanted something to nuke the whole yard. Like I had Purifies before, and I think instants are better in general, but Scare Feast is a much better card than like Purify to Grave because it just gets more cards, and I just want to get the most cards. So Sentinel Totem it is, and the Scry is pretty relevant. But yeah, a lot of my aggro matchups, which is really like the key here, are really close. Like I've had like really close competitive matches, so I don't think the deck is that bad against aggro, and I think a lot of people are going to be playing aggro today. So yeah, I'm not gonna be streaming this. I'm just gonna be recording. I think it's actually another thing is that, like I said earlier, it's not like focusing my time. So streaming and doing this is really distracting because I have to look at chat, come back. So I'm just gonna be recording. Yeah, it should be fun. Like I said, I'm gonna go to a gathering tournament, so we're gonna join round 1 in a second.